So Pokemon's fun and all, but they've been having hard times lately with Game Freak cutting every corner and trying to sue leakers and all that. But they've also been in hot water for referencing things that should be left in the past. Roll the intro. Now, Nintendo has referenced dark things in the past, such as the Banana Wars, which if you haven't heard of, I don't blame you, because it was a very small war in the Caribbean and all that. But the Pokemon Company has been in trouble for referencing the Nazis and Mr. Squarestache himself. Now, the Pokemon anime is far from perfect. First, an episode gets banned for gun violence, if you can even call it that. On November 25th, 1997, Season 1, Episode 39 of Pokemon was aired, and it featured a guy pulling a gun on Ash, which is a huge red flag considering the fact that this show is for kids, and pulling a gun on a 10-year-old is pretty traumatizing if you ask me. But there really isn't any gun violence, it's only this one scene and nothing is fired, so I don't know. Literally less than 1 month later, the episode Cyber Soldier Porygon becomes famous for sending hundreds of Japanese kids to the hospital. Because there's one scene that has red flashing, it gave the Japanese kids watching seizures. Good going, Game Freak. Now that we got that brief history of goofs out of the way, it's time for a brief history of stupidity. On February 20th, 2003, Season 6, Episode 13, All Things Bright and Beautifly was aired, and it's pretty simple. There's this Pokemon contest, and this Randy helps Ash's Pikachu use Iron Tail, but I don't care. What I care about is this one scene where Team Rocket Army doing the old Pro Axis hand symbol. Yeah, let's go Axis powers, am I right? No, that's not right. That's very wrong. Anyway, Jesse and James seem to be mimicking Mr. Squarestache himself. By the way, if you don't know, the Axis Powers was an alliance of many different countries who teamed up during World War II. Those countries were Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan, and a bunch of other lowlifes we don't care about. Anyway, this hand symbol we keep talking about was a salute for the Nazis. That's a bit of World War II history for you. Now back to Pokemon though. Now, what possesses a being to think that this is appropriate? A hand symbol with members of a large group/organization saluting the land with their bosses doing the same. This is referencing the Nazis. The Nazis is something that should stay in the past, and if you don't know, the Nazis were a racist group that wanted to kill all the Jews and lead them to extinction. That is totally something that should be in a kid's show. Of course, Japan didn't change a thing, but North America and more importantly Europe did not tolerate for this at all, especially since they literally take online child safety to a maximum. They censored it by removing the salutes from the grunts, and Jesse and James with both of their hands in the air like they're celebrating or something. Meowth was unchanged though for some reason. This scene is supposed to be an imagination of what Team Rocket would look like if Jesse and James's plan of terrorizing 10-year-olds succeeded. And that's just a Nazi hand symbol from the anime, because Pokemon didn't learn its lesson since the trading card game also had Nazi references. But this one was just dumb, and it wasn't even Pokemon's fault. And even if it's nothing to complain about, the Nazi salute in the anime was very stupid, and there was no need to put that in. However, this trading card reference is just the internet being moody. Jewish Pokemon fans accused Nintendo for putting the Nazi swastika in the Japan Koga Ninja trick. That's BS, because the swastika is an ancient symbol that was founded in ancient India and East Asia, and it was adopted into Hinduism and Buddhism. It's a symbol that is said to bring love, peace, and good fortune, but Hitler misused it, and he used it as a Nazi symbol because he thought it was founded by ancient Aryans from India and Eastern Asia. And Nintendo claimed that they had no intention of putting the Nazi symbol onto their Pokemon card, and it was supposed to be the Buddhist swastika. But of course, the Anti-Defamation League made Nintendo withdraw the card, even though it's an actual swastika, not this Nazi swastika. Here is a Nazi swastika, and here's a Buddhist swastika. You can clearly see the one being portrayed on the card is a Buddhist swastika. But still, the world is strict and some people see things differently than others. But I will say, the anime Nazi reference was plain Pokemon's fault. Nazi references in Pokemon don't end there, because what's the third major point of Pokemon? We got through Nazi salutes in the anime, we talked about swastikas in TCG, it's time for Nazi references in the games. In 2006, Gen 4 of Pokemon was released with a massive Sinnoh region and the memorable games of Diamond and Pearl starring Dialga and Palkia. But there was controversy because of a certain sprite of a legendary in the Reggie trio, consisting of Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. The sprite for Registeel looked a bit pro-Nazi. By that I mean it's doing the hand symbol again. You can say, whoa, Nintendo's featuring the Nazi salute in a game for kids? Oh my god, can't wait to cry about this on Twitter. But why would Nintendo reference the Nazis like this? The anime one made sense, as Jesse and James are in charge of an army of grunts in their little daydream, of course, so you can't guarantee they're referring to the Nazis. But this is just a single Pokemon raising its hand. Now you can say, but Liquid, why would Registeel just be putting his hand up like that? Surely they're referring to the Nazis again. I mean, why else would they design their Pokemon like that? But that can just prove my point. Why would they just be having a random Nazi reference just like that on a random Pokemon? If Nintendo wanted to reference the Nazis, they would have done a better job at it, like they did in the anime. In the anime, you can tell they're imitating the Nazis. There's no getting out of that one. But you can't just say, oh my god, guys, Nintendo's throwing up the racist hand symbol, let's go cry on Twitter. Nah, fam, you can't blame Nintendo for this one. But nonetheless, people call the designers sympathizers with the Nazis, and how they're trying to hypnotize young children and try to get them to also support the Nazis. Okay, that's a bit too far, don't you think? How is a simple Pokemon sprite gonna get children to go for Team Nazi? First of all, this is dumb because children probably don't even know what the Nazis were. And second of all, they're not just gonna be like, whoa, something just hit me. The Nazis were actually correct. Calling Nintendo Nazi sympathizers is a huge stretch, and there's nothing about this little sprite that can prove that. But Nintendo still did change the sprite for the American and Europe releases of the game. By that, they just simply moved the hand down. Let's go, guys. The new generation is saved. The anime reference was something Nintendo shouldn't have done, and was just stupidity from Nintendo's side. But they did nothing wrong with the trading cards. I guess they goofed up with Registeel, because what makes a company think this isn't going to raise any red flags? But anyways, it looks like Nintendo has learned their lesson, because these things are very inappropriate, especially for a family-friendly company. And all this happened before Twitter, and YouTube was still an infant at the time. If they do this now, the internet's gonna go bonkers, and so bonkers that Nintendo might even have to delete their social media. I mean, the internet cyberbullied Paramount, a multi-billion-dollar studio, so badly that they had to redesign Sonic for their new Sonic movie. They postponed the movie release from November 2019 to February 2020, just because the internet didn't like Sonic's design. So yeah, goof-ups like the Nazi references just don't happen anymore. Well, that's all I have to say, so make sure to subscribe if you want me to expose more of Nintendo's screw-ups. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Holy crap, guys, I got so lucky. Right after I finished recording, it started raining so hard. I might have had to cancel the video for today if I didn't finish in time.